And Are You Okay is a not safe for work podcast, so any young listeners are discouraged from continuing. However, we literally have no way to track that, so do whatever the hell you want and enjoy the show.
You know, I mean, things are growing. Things are getting there. You know, I'm an old man who can't, every other month I have a different foot injury, but hey, you know, such is life, you know? What can I say?
Oh, shit. So he plays, he was Luke Cage in like the animated Mortal Kombat, and he was Miles Morales in the Ultimate Spider-Man.
Oh.
The one with Drake Bell. Who fucks little kids?
Oh,
you know, little FF. little fun fact.
You know, can we record? We might be recording. Oh, we're recording.
Yeah, it's there now, and that's how the episode starts.
I'll just be like, Megan. Oh wait, that's Josh, not Drake.
Oh, I love your mug, Thermos. Right.
Can't see, but it's a little Grogu and his little thing. This is a little thing.
Oh, I'd be forgetting that they can't see. Trust me, it's awesome. For y'all listening.
Sometimes things make it into the reels. Sometimes.
Yeah, that's facts. That's fact. I always love like the parts like when we're kind of like giving a fake intro conversation. I always laugh at the parts that you choose to keep. I was like, I wonder how far into this conversation Mikey will clip it out versus what he leaves in.
Well, now I feel like I kind of have to leave the whole one this week.
I mean, we could cut out the Drake Bell part.
I think we have to leave it now because if I cut it before this part, then I have to. Then people are gonna be like, well, what were they talking about?
Well,
I'm not gonna believe that. I mean, he made his bed. I'm fucking.
Damn, I had a really good making the bed joke there, but I'll leave it.
Yeah, that's okay. Double entendre. Don't ask him how.
Don't ask him how.
I did it this time.
You did it. I'm so proud. I'm so proud.
Anyways,
a Star Wars podcast.
You are listening to And Are You Okay?
Ray can do it this time.
Star Wars podcast.
Woo!
Thank you, Ray.
Cooking with gas.
Anytime.
Ray's back. We're talking Ahsoka. She's gonna be here for every Ahsoka episode.
Ray is back.
Ray is back. You know, it's funny. When I was editing the last episode, I found a whole compilation of John Boyega screaming Ray, and that was fun. You know, maybe I'll put the link in the description for this video if you're interested. Or just YouTube and screaming Ray. It's much quicker than going into our description, probably.
There you go.
And we are here to discuss Ahsoka Season 1, Episode 3. Just so that you're aware, we know the Writers Guild and the Screen Actors Guild are still fighting with the studios to get paid fair wages. We are in solidarity with them, obviously, but I don't think either of us plan on acting or writing for a studio anytime soon. So we're going to keep the content flowing. We're going to thrive in the chaos. And don't you worry, your little ears, you can come back to us to listen about all of your favorite things nerd, whether it is here on And Are You Okay, a Star Wars podcast, or on our flagship show, Dragon Ball for Life. Check out that for all of your anime needs. I'm here with my hosts, Ray and Matty Ice, partners in crime in this galaxy far, far away.
Co-disruptors of this podcast.
The disruptors. Speaking of disruptors, there is someone who is not with us today.
We do it in his honor.
His DNA is ingrained in every episode because you hear him before you hear
That's
anything
how babies
else.
are made.
That is how babies are made. With a Siebes not safe for work disclosure. That's how they're made. And, you know, we want to take this opportunity to shout out my boy, the person who helped me found Annie, Are You Okay? Because he is making big life changes. And, you know, he asked me a really specific question through someone who I never thought would be asking me that question. And, I think I'm just going to slide it into the episode right now for people to hear.
Hello, Mike. My name is Ross Beedman. I played the part of the little Jedi youngling in Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, who goes up to Anakin and says the iconic line, "Master Skywalker, there are too many of them. What are we going to do?" Before unfortunately getting my head cut off and all that nasty business. But no, today, the real purpose of why I'm talking to you is because your mate Chris wants to make a proposal for you, and he wants you to be his groomsman on his wedding on August the 9th, 2024. How about that? And what a better way to receive the message than from a Jedi themselves. This message was inlaid with all the members of the Force who are one with them. And we decided the best place to do it was through Cameo to reach you effectively. What an honour to be a groomsman. Take it with pride, take it with integrity, have a bit of fun as well. And enjoy it. This is a bond between you guys. You guys are childhood friends, so it's amazing how people's relationship can progress to such a good level. I appreciate that. And I hope you enjoyed the message. Best wishes to you, and enjoy the wedding. Should be a lot of fun. Take care. May the Force be with you. Bye-bye.
A Star Wars podcast.
How fucking sick is that? I can't believe that the Master Skywalker kid, Ross Beedman himself, just
he has a name.
I found him on IMDb. He's been in the Titanic. We don't know how, but
the math ain't math. Maybe
It's
his
not math.
mom was with child and she
there we
was
go.
in the
he was
Titanic.
in utero. Got it.
In utero.
Well, thank you, Siebes. I have already said yes, but I'm going to say yes again on the podcast and tell you to tune in for your shout out. So happy to have you on. Hope you're watching Ahsoka. He's probably not. That guy's busy. But we have watched Ahsoka. So I'm going to do the quick plot synopsis. I wrote it out. We're going to fucking dive through that shit. And then we're going to get to our favorite moments, predictions. We're going to talk about all sorts of things, some Easter eggs, and then we'll send you on your way. But for now, let me dive right into this. Hyperdive. Right in. Sabine wastes no time getting back into training, and Ahsoka and Huyang are quick to humble her. Hera tries to warn the New Republic of the coming threat, and the Senators aren't convinced despite Mon Mothma's presence. Jason Syndulla, son of Hera and Kanan, makes his live-action debut and is already expressing interest in following in his father's footsteps as a Jedi. Sabine struggles to deal with her lack of connection to the Force and creates a bitter rivalry with a Mug, and Ahsoka and Sabine's adventure takes them into the orbit around Cetos, where a dogfight against Shin, Merrick, and Baylan soldiers ensues. After discovering the construction of a massive hyperspace ring, the T6 shuttle is damaged, and along with it, Huyang. Ahsoka gives us our first live-action spacesuit sequence in Star Wars, defending the ship as it's fixed. The shuttle enters the Cetos atmosphere after it's fixed, encountering Purgle in the clouds, which allow them to put distance between themselves and their enemies. The team escapes and lands on the surface of Cetos as Baylan begins his hunt for the wayward Jedi, like the wolves. And one thing seems certain: whatever happens next is tied to the Purgle.
Well done,
That was
sir.
love. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. Snaps,
What I can.
snaps all around. Snaps all around.
Oh, you're too kind. You're too kind.
The Force is strong with this one.
So I guess, let's take it from the top here. Sabine's training sequence. I was kind of shocked at how long it was, but it felt good to see that she's diving right back into her Jedi training. How do you guys feel about it?
I thought it was a cool scene. The only thing that, it was such a small thing, just bugged me a little bit. When she said, "How can I fight when I can't see?" or whatever she says there, it just felt like a little bit more trivial than something I feel like Sabine would normally say. First of all, she fought alongside Kanan for how long? Dude could fight without fucking seeing. And obviously this isn't the beginning of her training. We don't know how long she trained for before, but I can't imagine that this is the first time they've done an exercise like this. And Sabine's fucking smart. She understands, obviously, the reasoning behind, putting a visor on. So that one little line did bug me. it just felt like a little bit like, that seems out of character for her. But besides that, I could definitely let that go. I feel like the whole scene was pretty cool, actually. I liked seeing, Ahsoka kind of in her element as a teacher, which was cool.
You know what? I liked that scene, but Ray convinced me otherwise. Now I have a problem with it.
Sorry.
Like, I know that line was obviously fan servicey as fuck for like New Hope and like ripping off of like Luke and stuff. But that's a good point because they're definitely like resuming her training, so she definitely should have gone through those exercises before. So like, dang, you didn't ruin that scene for me.
I'm sorry.
No,
because Mike said the same thing. He was like, well, who knows? Maybe like they didn't get to that, which seems a little bit
the beginning.
That doesn't make sense.
Ray's first comment was, "Doesn't that seem a little elementary?" And I was like, "Damn, girl, she got my throat."
Yeah, but then like when I heard it again, I was like, "Bitch fought next to Kanan, who didn't have any vision for half of
but he was connected
Rebels.
to the Force."
Right,
She's
but
struggling
like
to connect to the Force at the moment.
Yeah. Again, I like the entire scene. It just felt like a throwaway line.
No, I like the logic
Sorry,
there.
Matt.
I thank you for opening up my eyes to new experiences.
Just call me the ruiner.
I love it. Ray the
Not just
ruiner.
Ruther anymore. She's a ruiner.
Ray the ruiner. You gotta say the first part, hype, and then the ruiner.
Yeah.
I always laugh at like the real world shit that makes it into Star Wars, like how in Andor Cheryl was eating cereal. I was like, cereal, like for so I was just like, oh, samurais were a thing in Star Wars, okay. Like I always laugh at like the real world shit that does like sneak into Star Wars for like a fantasy genre. So that did throw me a bit, like them having like literal not being shy about it samurai swords, like, and even like that wasn't a blaster shield, that was like a whole samurai training mask or whatever. So I was just like, oh, that's a part of this universe, cool. And I know George Lucas like based Star Wars off of like samurai lore and stuff like that, but I ain't never heard nobody talk about samurai stuff in that galaxy before, so that was interesting. Even like the training like words they were using, like Hu Yang was like definitely speaking like, I don't want to an Asian place. I don't want to put a destination.
I think that's fair. I mean, it definitely could have had like Japanese origins, but like you said, probably an Asian place.
Right? Could
Wherever,
so many
wherever
different
they ripped
places.
it off of is
an Asian peninsula. That's what we'll say. But I did outside of the logic that Ray the ruiner has put into my head. I did like that a lot. I also liked that one scene where Ahsoka was like, "Where am I?" She was like, "Oh, you're by Hu Yang," and she's like, "Am I?" And she was on like the other side.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. I guess I wouldn't really call it a critique. I'm really fearful that they're gonna let her be a Force user, and I really don't want her to be. Like, maybe it was just her like starting to like get used to her, like, her senses back and stuff when she was starting to get it. But like, why do that cup pull? I know it's jumping ahead like a tad bit. Like, why do that cup pull tease if they're not gonna have like? I could see the moment where like Ahsoka's falling off of a cliff and she like reaches out and like saves her at the last minute with the Force, like that. Oh my God, you're using the Force! Big moment. I was like, I really don't want her to be a Force user. So
honestly, Matt, I think your hopes are like, don't like get rid of them yet. Like, I still think that what this show can do is redefine what it means to be a Jedi. And then maybe she connects to the Force in a different way, and it's not exactly through that, like, the same way that we're so used to it via, like, the Jedi that we've, experienced throughout our, like, Star Wars viewing. I will say this, though. If they do that, which, it does seem likely that that's the place that they're going with it, I feel like they're going to save it for a moment that is absolutely epic, and it's going to be warranted, and we're going to have built up to it. I feel like Star Wars is going to Star Wars, so it's like probably going to happen in the finale of this season. But I would love if they did it like at the end of the next season of Ahsoka, which feels like there's no way they're not going to do another one at this point. I don't think the story
get past the writer strike.
Yeah.
Solve that first.
That's true.
Well, I actually feel like the conversation that they kind of have there sort of played into what we talked about last week, where Ahsoka almost was kind of redefining it. Like, so I agree. Do I, like we said last week, do I want to see Sabine like lifting rocks and all that shit? No. I almost kind of hate the idea of it being like, it all leads up to this really big moment where suddenly she can do it. I also kind of hate that. But for her to have very slight like connections, because I mean, I love that, like Ahsoka said, it's in everyone, and Sabine's like, well, why doesn't everyone use it? And Ahsoka says, well, talent's a factor, but not everyone has like the training, the focus, and the discipline. I feel like that was really cool to hear that. Like Ahsoka did like dissect it a little bit more than I feel like we've necessarily heard before. So they're gonna make her have some sort of force powers. That conversation wouldn't have happened if like that's not gonna be the case. But I'm hoping that with how much Hugh Yang has put on, like saying she's not a force. yeah, literally. With how much he has said it and like kind of that conversation, I'm hoping that they do tame it a little bit and make it a little bit more of, it's not to the levels of any of the Jedi we've seen, but there's something. So it kind of like bridges that. That's my guess.
Kind of hope that the way it manifests is warranted, right? Because like if we're going to build to it, then like Ray said, like let's have a measured expectation for what Sabine's able to accomplish. And I'm fine with maybe like, how when there's like the stories of like moms lifting a car off of their kid, like they didn't have that strength, but it's like the adrenaline pumping through them. Like maybe an instance like that where it's like, oh, she's able to save somebody because in that moment. And she even says herself, I thought the circumstances would expedite my training. I think that's like such a open-minded thing of her to say for a character who's so closed off. It shows you how much she's been through and how much she can like analyze
I don't know if she meant it the way that you're interpreting it, though. Like, you're saying that you think that she was saying that, like,
that the necessity of the situation would help her connect. That's what
I don't think that's what she meant.
I think she wanted to skip ahead in the book.
Yes, I think that's what it was. I think because Sabine's so hard-headed, I think that that's what she meant, was that she was like, well, like, we need to skip ahead to, like,
why are we doing the basics?
Lightsaber type of thing. Go. Yeah, that's how I interpreted
it. I'm wrong. I'm not afraid to admit I'm wrong. On the panel telling me that I'm wrong. You heard it here first on Annie, Are You Okay? Mikey's wrong.
All right, Biv.
Yeah. I heard it a lot.
No, that's how I took it too. Ray, the ruiner. I took it like she was like, let's skip ahead some chapters. Like I don't need like the kiddie stuff.
Well,
but actually,
sorry, just in the sense of skipping chapters, I feel like Ahsoka kind of put Sabine through the ringer, like as opposed to how Kanan handled her training, where he was like giving her like baby steps.
That's right.
But Matt, continue.
I was going to say, I can't take credit for this thought, and I don't remember who did it. If I figure it out, I'll comment in the video ourselves, like later today when it comes out, I'll put it in the comments. But somebody was saying, when they were talking about, I really loved the part that Hugh Yang was talking about. I don't remember, was this episode or last week when he was saying like, oh, you do come from like a long line of like non-traditional Jedi.
It was this week.
It was this episode.
Yeah,
yes.
I like that a lot. And somebody kind of like expounded on that, and they were talking about how learning to be a Jedi, because like they're like the keepers of the peace and tranquil and stuff like that. If we look at all the Jedi that like fumbled the bag, i.e. like the Anakins and like the Ahsokas kind of to an extent, they were learning to become Jedis in like times of war, which should be the worst time to try to become a Jedi. If we're about keeping the peace and tranquility and balance, like kind of going to like what Sabine was saying, like, yo, can we hurry this up? Like this is important. So like Anakin literally got his training like at the start of the war. Whereas like Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon like got trained when it was more peaceful. So that's why they kind of like were level-headed Jedi, whereas Sabine's like getting crash courses and Anakin was getting crash courses and Ahsoka was getting crash courses like when shit was super fucked up. So it's
it's like out of necessity instead of just letting it happen.
And you're like putting pressure on yourself, like, oh shit, like if the longer that I take to figure out the Force, the more people that might die because like I'm lunching over here. So it's just like I thought that was like I never thought about that before.
Yeah,
like,
that's pretty
like
cool.
the order that was like training really successful Jedis was during the time like of peace. So it's like there wasn't like no pressure. They could figure it out in their own time. It was more like in practice. They probably wasn't like fighting enemies all the time. Maybe the Trade Federation was causing some shit every now and again, like, you know. But I thought that was like a really cool thing, and then like, you know, that's kind of like what Rachel, the Runa was saying, like Sabine being so hard headed. She's just like, yo, like we're trying to save Ezra, like I don't got time. Take the training wheels off, lady. And Ahsoka's just like, that's not how this works. Like I love that
she
response.
grew up during
like,
war too, right? Like,
yep.
So that's all she knows.
Yeah.
Similar to Hera in that.
That's all like every like relevant. Yeah, every character like right now. Mm-hmm. That's
just like a bunch of strong female characters who've had to navigate war their entire life and like are trying, like, you know what I mean? And it feels like they all value peace to an extent, but they're so commonly forced into action. It's kind of tragic if you think about it like that. So
the Republic don't know how to hire people. That's what this.
That's
all
really what it
goes
is.
down to.
The vetting process is ass.
If it was good, we
the
have
other
none
thing
of
I
these
have
problems.
to note from like the training scene was Huyang with 4 arms kind of reminded me of General Grievous a little bit, and there were quite a few sabers on the wall outside of the wooden katanas that they had there. So I wonder if that will come into play at some point. Like maybe we'll see Huyang get a cool moment where he's
fighting some shit.
out. Yeah.
I didn't notice that, but that's cool.
Samurais are a thing now.
So at the end of that scene, Ahsoka says, "Let's go again," and I feel like that was a direct callback to Tales of the Jedi. That one episode where she's
1000%.
training and doing
Kept getting stun gunned.
Yeah,
He said stun.
He said stun.
He said stun.
One of the best robot chicken fucking Star Wars things.
Classic.
So one thing that I think was, Matt is definitely gonna, beat this drum pretty hard. But
Manja, give it to me.
Jason Syndulla with
He got green hair.
I immediately looked at Mike and I was like, he's got green hair.
I immediately thought of
Lego.
Mike. It was like, he's got green hair.
I really didn't think they were going to do it, but I'm pleasantly
you're
surprised.
wrong a lot for this episode.
Getting
I'm
rusty,
not afraid to admit that I'm wrong.
Gotta stop taking sabbaticals, dog. You're losing your edge.
I know, man. What the fuck? I used to be a human hologram.
Do you even
Now I'm
know
just a-
Star Wars?
Right? You know this
Probably
is a
not.
Star Wars podcast.
A Star Wars podcast.
Long
Hey.
crossword, bitches. Oh shit! Fuck! I fucked up. Yeah, I love that how anxious he is to be a Jedi, and I've been seeing a lot of theories that recently saying that Ezra's dead, and I'm like, I hate that. I really want Ezra to train Jason. I really want Ezra to train Jason.
That'd be awesome.
Love that.
That to me is like, well, first off, let's keep him away from Luke's Jedi temple because we know what happens there. But I think it would be really poetic.
What's
to
the
have Ezra
opposite of
train him.
nepotism? That's what goes on at that Jedi temple. He's like, if you're related to me, you're dead.
Yeah. I kill you in your sleep.
He had green hair. I was super excited. I also like the super small detail of the fact that like he was clearly a biracial child that they casted. Because I remember there was like a really big thing, I think, when Kanan had showed up as a kid, and like I want to say it was like the first episode of the Bad Batch.
It's that bad.
And there was like a really big thing about them like whitewashing him, like they like lightened his skin tone, and like people like complained, even with like the Bad Batch characters themselves. Like
Yeah, people were really bitching about
And then they-
that. And I'm not saying it's like pretty warranted criticism. Tamara
Yeah.
Morrison is obviously like a person of, he's got
melanin.
melanin. Yeah. I was like, can I say that?
Yeah,
I'm
you're
very
good, bro.
white.
You're good. You're with me. You're good.
I'm very white.
We check off all the boxes here, baby. But I thought that was a really cool detail that they had like a kid of an ethnic child. I don't know what his nationality is, but he clearly had like a darker pigmentation. I thought that was like cool because Kanan was clearly a brother of some type. So it's like, shout out to Freddie Prinze Jr. We claim him at the barbecue.
I was gonna say, we do love Freddie Prinze Jr.
Well, that's
I got
funny because
some-
we kind of had that conversation too, Mike, when you were saying that like you would love for him to like reprise his role in live action, and I was like, I don't know about that. I don't know.
I think Freddie Prinze Jr. is also.
I feel like he's really short too in real life. I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
I'm sorry.
what
Hold
his-
on. You think that Freddie Prinze Jr. is not white?
No,
I
I said,
think
oh, Mikey said that.
No, I think, listen, I'm not trying to open a bag of worms here, but I think that his dad is from a different.
I mean,
like, I don't think his dad is white.
Europe?
It's or something.
we won't
Yeah,
speculate. I'm gonna look it up.
Matt's gonna look it up. We're gonna.
I would be
talk
shocked. I'll admit if I'm wrong too. I would be shocked. That dude
Listen,
looks-
I think you give Freddie Prinze Jr. long hair and a beard, and it's fine. It tracks. And it's also like, I'm also fine with him not showing up like to see him and just using his voice instead because
Yeah.
Oh yeah, his father is Latino.
Interesting. Wow. I would have never, ever guessed that.
put one in the win column for Mikey C.
There you go. You had to get one back, bro.
All right. Well.
Oh yeah, he actually. So he's half Puerto Rican, half German. Freddie Prinze Sr.
German just wipes out everything. Doesn't even matter.
Wipes out everything else, including maybe an entire
I mean,
religion.
Boris Cujo is German, and he's definitely black.
Yeah.
He's German,
Fair
so I guess it could blend. He's got.
But no, I agree with you. I do think that like kind of I didn't know about all that backlash in Bad Batch. That makes a lot of sense, but you know,
Oh shit, he's 6'1". He's tall.
I don't know why you thought he was short. I feel
don't
like
know.
he's always presented tall, but I feel
It
like
takes making a little more sense now. Maybe
Yeah.
something after all.
I mean, I guess like in retrospect, him standing next to like Scooby Doo, like I guess it threw me.
Yeah,
a
that's
little
true.
bit.
I don't know. I think everything I said that was right got wiped out by me almost making a Holocaust joke, so it's fine.
I'm a Jew, bro. You can make those jokes. It's good, bro. I got you, baby. I got
What?
you.
I was gonna say, when has it stopped
That's
you
okay.
before?
Not
Right here.
often. I think I
I was about to
focus
say,
more on
what
9/11 than I
last,
do the Holocaust.
whatever show me and Steve's were covering, we do so much. It all starts to blend together. So many Holocaust jokes.
There were a lot. I think the entire like season of Mando season 3 was like based off the Jewish heritage though. It's kind of cool. Like I guess like, as an atheist, you know, I consider all the religions mythology. So like yeah, you can pick some of those like pieces out of things and let it influence. I mean, literally everything in this show is some sort of like reference to a wolf in like Norse mythology or
Big facts.
something else. Those are all religions at some point. So
I mean, Jedi.
it's definitely cool that
itself
like
is based
Dave
off
Filoni's kind of like,
religion, after all.
how can I fit as many wolf references as possible into this show? And he's succeeding. So man
All
has
the
a
wolf
has a thing. All of them. Merrick is named after a wolf. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But I do now.
And I feel like I think Balin is too. Like, I think he's like named after like a Norse god. I think I saw that.
I think
I'll look it up.
it's
I don't like
Balin,
being
Skull, and
I don't like
Shin
being Mikey.
Hati. Skull and Hati are wolves that chase the sun and the moon
I don't know.
until Ragnarok occurs.
Oh yeah, Ragnarok. So Norse mythology. So yeah, there we go. we do our Googles around here. Mikey, your Wi-Fi needs milk. It's always you, brother. You always holding up the show. How are y'all in the same? Oh, that's cool. I think we're
now?
back.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
1, 2,
3, 4.
how many? 4?
No,
5?
you're not lagging to us. We're lagging to you. There's a delay on your side. Oh wait, no, now there's not. We're good. We're
Yeah,
back.
I think.
I was gonna say, I feel like I'm hearing you in real time.
You probably are in your time, not in our time.
This is a weird world between worlds that we're working with right now.
Me and Ray then took the walk across the bridge to Terabithia. You still?
Oh, fuck, yeah, I forgot.
You're still on the other side.
I'm all the way back in Narnia still.
A Star Wars podcast.
Me and the wardrobe are hanging. Oh, I can see both of you now. We're good. It's back. I might fucking leave that in. I don't even
I was
give a
about to say,
shit
I feel
anymore.
like you got to keep that.
That was kind of funny. I mean, we'll see how it links up. Like, if it doesn't sync at all, then I'll be like, yeah, fuck this. But surprise, surprise, technical difficulties. You know, none of this shit would have happened if if I didn't have to spend all my money on dumb shit like house repairs. But
Fucking adulting, man.
That's the real dark side.
Being an adult.
So, another thing. How did you guys? Anyways, yeah. How did we feel about Hera's little talk with the holographic Senator Council?
Yo, what's his name? Ziono?
It's a dick,
Senator Ziono, he's a
Fuck
dick.
that dude.
So he's.
I
the
love what
father
she said to him.
Oh,
Yeah,
what she
that
said
was
to him
great.
was fucking savage. I was big.
Yeah.
That was the turning point. That's why the First Order is going to show up, because of that comment. He's like, you know what? I know what to do with people like you. You know what? Like now we're gonna go back to being bad. Thanks. That was awesome. That was awesome.
So Senator Ziono is actually the father of Kazuda Ziono from Star Wars Resistance, a show that I don't often recommend. The cast that worked on that show brings a lot of heart and energy to that show, but it's just kind of missing something. It does look very nice. I like the animation style. It's missing something that sets it even close to the same area of like Rebels and Clone Wars. So, but if you're really into fighter pilots, I guess check it out. And his dad, unfortunately, does not get blown up when Hosnian Prime gets blown up by Starkiller Base. So,
Is his son the main character in that?
yes.
Yeah.
Oh. I've only heard like the little bits that you've watched, but it's a shame his
Yeah, I don't
dad's a
rewatch
dickhead.
that one often. Yeah, Kaz is a cool character. I don't really like his dad. But hey, man, not everyone has a cool dad. Some people have asshole dads.
Your
Yeah,
dad fucking
Scooter.
sucks, dude.
Scooter. Just talking
Just
shit.
kidding. Just kidding.
dad.
Love you, Dad.
Oh, whatever. He's not even going to listen to this for 3 weeks.
Gonna be next year. Hey, I heard your episode. You guys talking shit. But
That's their secret, Matt. We're always talking
Out of the
shit.
will. Oh, man.
Was anyone else a big fan of Sabine just like fighting with a mug? I hope that was pretty funny.
not if it's gonna lead her to using the Force. I'm gonna be very upset. If she don't get the Force,
That's like, yeah, I'm glad she lost.
yeah. Stop trying to use the Force.
I'm just gonna new merch idea, just the mug on the shirt, and it's gonna be like the real Jedi.
The Force not strong with this one. Just the teacup. Just the teacup.
So the
samurai
hyperspace
imagery. That was definitely like a sake cup. Like,
Yo, you're right. You're right.
I literally looked at my phone
Imagine
and was like,
Ahsoka's
"Ooh, I
just
like
getting
this
blasted.
set. I want it." Yeah. That's all she's drinking.
Yeah. She's like, if I'm going out into
Sabine
space,
can't use the Force, she's drunk. She's just been drinking her pain away since Ezra like disappeared.
Fair. Also, who's taking care of her cat?
that's a
point.
good. I mean, cats are resilient beings, but
I know,
Yeah, I
but she like
that's-
domesticated it and then abandoned it.
She definitely did. I don't remember her going back to her apartment and like leaving a note. She just grabbed her shit and left.
Yeah.
maybe she left like a hollow call with Ryder, and now Ryder's like in charge of.
Ryder's definitely taking care
That
of the
needs
cat.
that needs to be a bonus episode. A rider babysitting the cat.
Or at least like Star Wars has been doing this thing where they make lo-fi like music YouTube videos, and I just want Ryder chilling in the thing with the Loth cat while everyone's off doing their business.
Fact though. Those lo-fi videos are very relaxing, by the way.
That's good study music, but I don't study often, so.
Oh no, I'll be high as a kite watching them things. Like, this is great.
Oh, wow, this is nice.
Look, I be communing with the force, bro. Like, might as well.
One thing that I really want to touch on is the dogfight in this episode. I don't think we've gotten a sequence quite like that since maybe the opening of Revenge of the Sith. Like, they've done a few dogfights in Mando, but not like this. This was extensive.
Yeah.
Did you guys enjoy seeing that like make its way back into Star Wars? I feel like it's like one of those things that was a big factor for people who, when they saw the original trilogy, like the whole Death Star sequence at the end of that movie is really like the big climactic action point. And it happens in Return of the Jedi a little bit, but not so much. I feel like the audience is much more focused on like Luke's story, and throughout the prequels, there's much more emphasis on like what are the Jedi up to, as opposed to, you know, what's happening in a space battle somewhere else. The sequels like copied the format of A New Hope and The Force Awakens in the sense that there's that like atmospheric dogfight, but they really don't do much with it outside of the opening of The Last Jedi, and then again,
that's a hell of a pilot. I fucking hate that
line, bro. And then in The Rise of Skywalker, it's just like, it feels like an afterthought compared to everything else going on, if I'm being completely honest. Except for when everyone shows up and Lando's like, there's more of us, Poe. Okay.
hate that line too.
So how did it feel to you guys to kind of like have that like dogfighting mentality back in the forefront for us? It was a 10-minute sequence, I think, of the dogfight.
Definitely.
So.
I don't know what blaster shield DLC pack Ahsoka got on her ship, but man, that thing's effective, yeah. Because they was lighting her ship up, yeah, and it was fine. Yeah. I like the little the little noises that their blasters made. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm good. You're good.
No, I really liked it. I mean, I like. You know, obviously seeing Shin and Marok like in there, and I don't know. It's funny. You can kind of like tell the kind of strained dynamic between Shin and Morgan in that. Like, I can't believe you let them get this far, and then, you know, Shin kind of blows it off and is like, don't worry, like we'll take it from here. So you can tell that they kind of butt heads, and you know, Morgan's kind of an asshole, but and then I know I had said like I didn't love. I get it, like Sabine's rusty, but also like, dude, Sabine fucking kills every weapon that she touches. So like,
she's a Mandalorian, right?
Yeah, like I felt like they prolonged her like rustiness a little bit longer than I would have liked, but then as soon as Ahsoka was like, all right, what do you need? Like, let's do this. I loved like that, you know, syncing up of that there.
Yeah, it was like,
go ahead, bro.
Go ahead. No, you're good.
No, you go. No, I was bang.
I knew you were fucking gonna do it. I knew you were gonna fucking do it.
Bang, I feel the same way. Like, I was like, when is she gonna get one? Like, let her hit one, please. Like, I did start to get a bit frustrated. I was like, all right, let her hit one at least. But and then the New Hope callback again, like verbatim line, like, I got one. Woo! I was like, all right, bro. Like, we get it. You love Star. We love Star Wars too. Like,
we do too.
You don't have to like reuse that part for, because they redid it in Force Awakens. Finn had that moment. Like, all right, I get it.
It's like poetry.
And especially that's not in Sabine's character. Like, that's very out of character for her, in my opinion. When she blows something up, she's like, she, you know, gets pumped about it, but I don't know, like, to pat herself on the back that much, I felt like was a little out of character for her.
Yeah, I agree. Shin's ship is 1000% Stitch's ship from Lilo and Stitch. It's the same. It's the same spacecraft.
It's funny.
I really like that catch because I I didn't see it, but you were 100% right. I did write down a note that it looked like the design of maybe not so much Shin and Merrick's ships, although they're similar, but the other like Balin's I guess soldiers or the guys who could get blown up. Their ships were based off of the biplanes from World War I and World War II, and I think that I'm pretty positive that when George was asking them to do the stuff for A New Hope's dogfight sequences, that he cut together a bunch of footage from war movies and stuff like that to get the tone of it, and that's why it came across the way it did, not so slow and stuff like that. I guess in the past the aerial dogfights were not as good, but they managed to find a way to make it look good, and that's cool to see that connection. I guess kind of an Easter egg there, but it was definitely a fun sequence. And I didn't get a chance to say this, but when Shin and Morgan are fighting with each other, I mean, woman in the workplace, am I right? No, I'm totally kidding. I'm totally kidding.
Everybody gets one.
Right, he's like, I work in a workplace full of women and we get along fine.
There you go.
Shout out to Love City Bet.
Shout outs.
Jeremy will like that one.
Yeah, the one male in your workplace will like that one.
Of course his name's Jeremy. It's always a Jeremy.
That's okay, we love him here.
And I was about to say, I bet he smells amazing. I feel like everybody named Jeremy smells like sandalwood. I feel like that's just what you have to. Sandalwood and lemon. I just feel like that's what your scent has to be. like he brews his own beer. I feel like that's the type of guy Jeremy is. That's just what you have to do. But the Lilo and Stitch shit. Disney always got a fucking Disney. Disney's always gonna sneak its way into my Star Wars, and I hate it. I was like, oh, that's Stitch shit. It was the same color. It's literally red and yellow. It was the same color and everything. I was like, they don't even try to hide it at this point. It's just yeah, we bought Lucasfilms.
Listen.
Say
how
something,
many ship
something
designs can we possibly make?
We've been doing this for 50 years. We're running out of ideas, bro.
Ohana means family. Family means we put whatever we want in our fucking movies.
That's what it is, Matt. It's family because she is what's his name's daughter.
That's our daddy master.
That's all it is.
Daddy master. I see what they did there. Little breadcrumbs. It's like, yeah, of course she has the Lilo and Stitch shit. That's her dad. Totally. I see what they did there.
They said no one's gonna catch this.
They were wrong. We caught it.
I'm going to leave the floor open to you guys for any additional favorite moments before we move on to any predictions you guys want to get out into the open before we continue on with. We got one other big discussion topic centered around the end credit sequence. So I want to let's get everything out of there so we can start dissecting.
Then I definitely want to talk to you on here with what we talked about yesterday off here. For a show that's about space, they sure do not get people being out in space right ever. It just looks so cheesy every time they do it. It's a space fantasy. Everything happens in space, but anytime anybody goes out in that bitch, it looks so bad. I hate it. I hate every second of it. You know what it looked like? I love the fact that she got her live action spacesuit with the helmet that happens to perfectly fit her horns. I thought that was awesome. But
give me the action.
Maybe it was the blue. Maybe the cartoony blues were through it, but it reminded me of the scene from Guardians of the Galaxy 3 when they were jumping in their really colorful spacesuits, which looked real cheesy. But Star Wars just has they just miss. They strike out every time somebody has to go on a spacewalk. It doesn't work for me.
Yeah, it's funny. The spacesuits have literally only ever shown up in something that Dave Filoni is directly helming. Because it's only been in Clone Wars and Rebels and now this, and it's
it was in Visions. There was no spacesuits. You're right.
Yeah, exactly.
You're right. I'm wrong. Well, Mikey got 2.
Count 'em. Put me on the scoreboard, baby.
Let Booby spin. He got 2.
I did when she. I mean, I thought that it was cool when she got the one ship with her lightsaber. I did think that quick little scene was neat, and I really liked the way Sabine kind of got her back in the ship. I don't know why. I thought
That
like
was a cool
that.
sequence.
Yeah,
That was
and just like the running and like being able to like flip into the door. I don't know. I thought that was pretty cool, but
That was cool.
I agree. I guess I don't know what it should look like.
You know why you like that scene? You know why you like that scene, right? Because that was her getting out of space. She was she was coming back in from
You're like,
space.
oh, good, it's over.
Yes, that's why he liked it.
Yeah. On top of that, I feel like the sequence works because, okay, what does the ship do? Like, that makes it special. It spins around, and so you have it spinning while Ahsoka's running on it in space, and she's got the cool outfit on, so yeah, it definitely works. But I think that Matt is ultimately right, is the fact that she was getting out of space. So,
Fair enough.
Oh, thank God it's done.
I can breathe now, literally.
Double entendre. Wow.
He said the thing.
You know?
That's funny.
I'm trying to think of if there was like any other beats that we might have missed. I feel like we covered all the good stuff. I do
But we hardly
like.
talked about pearls.
Yeah. We can talk about the
That is
Purgles.
good call out,
Definitely
Ray.
talk about the Purgles. Those are some big ass Purgles. Those are some
Yeah.
fully grown Purgles.
Yeah. And obviously opening up this whole thing that I guess this is the first we're hearing that their migration like paths go between galaxies, right? Like we haven't heard that before.
They like mentioned it in Rebels, but not quite to the extent that they talked about in this episode. I don't think they ever mentioned it being like intergalactic travel, like just
Gotcha.
kind of like traveling through hyperspace, and that's what like the hyperspace engines were based off of. Like they saw that the Purgle could do that, and that's how they were inspired to make the hyperdrive engines.
Yeah.
How does someone
This is-
figure that 1-to-1 ratio out? Like,
They taped
did they
Purgle to their starship.
experiment on a whale, like on a Purgle?
Oh, they
like,
definitely did. Yeah, they did a whole experiment on the Zilla beast. Someone was dissecting whales out there.
you had because I'm just like I remember I'm almost positive I remember them saying in Rebels that like the Purgles are like the original hyperdrive users. Like that's like
Yeah.
it originated from them. So it's just like who figured out how to like engineer that into like machinery?
I'll tell you who, some sick fuck.
Some sick fuck. we need a Sarah McLachlan commercial with Purgles in the background.
That's funny.
Yeah, man. But no,
so I
those are
guess,
some
like-
big ass Purgles.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I guess so is the idea that like Ezra and Thrawn kind of like disappeared through like hyperspace like with the Purgles and like somehow Thrawn sort of I don't know, like somehow that has to like tie into like how they have
Yeah.
found Thrawn, right?
I have a theory. I don't want to like listen. Sometimes I just try to think of ways that things can connect, even though I don't believe in them like 100%. But I would imagine that if Morgan Elspeth said through time and space that somehow the world between worlds could be connected, and the font around Ahsoka's like literally the logo for the Ahsoka show, super fucking reminiscent of the world between worlds. I just feel like
I want to
it's
see that
tied
owl.
into things somehow. Yo, that is a really fucking good point, Matt. Where the hell is Morai?
I know we haven't seen. Well, I guess we've only really been on like ships for the most part, and like Morai wouldn't be there.
Yeah, but she's
And Morai's not
commonly
gonna be
around
like-
Ahsoka.
Yeah.
I know. But like in an enclosed space, like no, you usually see like
Oh, like her out in the wild. She is
Yeah.
in Mando season 2.
she is.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Which episode?
The Ahsoka's episode.
Oh well, shit, duh, man.
The Jedi, I think the chapter is called. But
Her episode is called The Jedi.
so Morai is. Like,
Oh
sitting
shit!
in the
Yeah,
plane.
she's like in one of the trees. I do remember that. I do
Yeah.
remember that.
Yeah. So
Ah,
I
maybe
would,
she left her
really
ass there
like to
by accident.
see Morai show up. But if Morai is not there, Morai has also been seen in the world between worlds. Ezra, when he goes in for the first time, recognizes Morai, and she is sitting on the pathway, I guess, to the time when Ahsoka is fighting Vader. So
Embrace the
maybe
term, basically.
Morai is the link that will connect them. Who knows? But I'm really glad that you brought that up, Matt, because it does feel like kind of like one of those things that Morai shows up when big things happen, and I want big things to happen. So
Big
I'd really
shit.
like to see
poppin'.
more eyes show up.
So is the whole concept of the map is that they're like, I guess like the Purgle's migration path is supposed to like take them to the place. So like that's what the map was like. Oh, we need to line up when they're about to like go for a stroll.
Yeah. I think that's the path to Peridia is the Purgle's migration pattern. Terabithia, I'm sorry. The bridge to Terabithia is the Purgle's migration pattern, and they have to get the Narnia space ring to open up to the Lion and the Witch and the Wardrobe to travel to the next
for Aslan. Got it.
Yes.
And the Eye of Sauron.
It was brother of Oh yeah, you're right. It's the Eye of Sauron instead of the Eye of Sion. We hit all of them here. You name it.
To break the curse of the Black Pearl. That's what this is.
Moron's boyfriend is Hedwig.
Something Hunger Games.
Dead Man's Chest.
A Star Wars podcast.
Just start naming Disney movies.
And then Maui says you're
right.
Duncan in the water.
No, I love when you do that. He did the thing.
I did it.
He said the thing.
Deep cut for listeners who've been with us since the jump.
You had me since day one, buddy. Look at us now. Who'd have thought?
Bang bang.
Who'd have thought?
Okay.
Bang bang.
So I have a couple more predictions. Definitely leaning on Merrick being somebody.
Starkiller.
I'm hoping Starkiller. Saw an interesting theory, not my own. I don't know who to credit, but someone said, "What if it's a clone of Luke using Luke's hand from Bespin?" And I was like, "Oh, that's interesting." Not sure I'd like that very much, but
Mark Hamill says yes to all things Star Wars.
I was gonna say, I love Mark Hamill,
And
but
Disney
like we don't
can't
have to
help
see him in
themselves.
everything.
Yeah, we don't need no.
They can't help themselves. They'll do it.
Fucking Disney.
And I believe in the original Thrawn trilogy, there is a clone of Luke. So
that sounds about right. Yeah, I don't want
that's Legends, though. I don't like that either.
I don't want that. I'm gonna put my bet that it is Starkiller, but not the Force Unleashed version. I feel like it's like a version of
that's what
Starkiller.
I want. You can't have your Legend Starkiller. If you're listening to this podcast, you want a
Star Wars podcast.
It's not. It's just. It can't happen. He's way too powerful in those games. Like the Force doesn't work that way. Sorry.
Yeah. And I think you had said it.
The Force works.
That's not. Exactly. I love that line. That's my favorite line in the whole movie.
I do like that line.
But and then poor Finn, they be giving that nigga chicken shit called chicken salad. We can use the Force, like just the way he said it. We can use the Force. That's not how the Force works. Like, he was so hopeful.
It's funny.
Like even when he got his name, Finn, yeah, I like that, yeah. Like,
dude, this is why we need that, because I love John Boyega. This is why we need
Finn. I love John Boyega.
Yeah,
I love John Boyega. Justice for
Finn.
Justice for John.
Yeah, seriously, because he loves Star Wars as much as we do.
Maybe not as much anymore.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
Might took a little hit.
Yeah,
took a little dip. But yeah, I definitely think. I mean, we talk about this here on DB4L, on previous unnamed places of business that we've done podcasts for. Like, I hate when Disney puts shit next to each other that means one thing, but don't let it be the thing. Like, it just makes so much sense to have Ahsoka fight, Starkiller, both apprentices of Darth Vader. Like, it just makes all the sense in the world. And Sam Witwer's like a Star Wars OG. He does everything. Like, let that man get some live action shit. Like, you keep using his voice. Let that man get some live action shit. So it just makes all the sense in the world. And the fact that Balin and Shin, like, their lightsabers are orange and his is red. So it's like clearly there's some Sithness going on there. It just makes all the sense in the world. If it's not him, then I just need to just be somebody we've never met before. Like, don't be Ezra, don't be Luke. Like, I don't need. If it's not Starkiller, I don't need the shock factor, because I'm just gonna be mad. It's gonna be somebody I don't want it to be, and then Sabine using the Force, and then I'm gonna be very upset.
Be mad. Like, this is rotten.
Switching to Star Trek, I'm done.
I don't think they can pay me to do that, even if it's fun.
But yeah,
Yeah,
feel
I
it's
like.
there.
I have like kind of like a bad feeling that it's gonna be Ezra. I'm
You have
not.
a bad feeling.
I do have a bad feeling, but
Bad feeling about this.
but I'm hoping it's not. I do feel like, even though I don't know much about Starkiller, the little bit that like you've said, like I feel like that just makes the most sense and would be the most kind of exciting. My only like kind of two sides to the Ezra thing. Has he actually like hurt anyone? Because I almost feel like when he fights, he's like placating a little bit, which is like, is that someone who doesn't really want to hurt them? But that could be me like looking for things. And then, but then on the flip side, and I was saying this to you, Mike, like it wouldn't make, his saber is red. So yeah, there's something Sith there. And it's not like Thrawn is a dark side user that would have been able to like turn him to the dark side. Like Thrawn's not a Force user. So
But he's a master manipulator.
I know. And that's what my dad said too, and I get that, but I feel like to turn someone as like good and wholesome as Ezra, who, yes, I know he like touched on the dark side a few times with like Maul and like all that shit. Like it would have needed to be a very strong dark side user that could turn him to the dark side. And with Thrawn not being a Force user, I just don't see that making sense.
What about very strong circumstances that force him to, I don't know, I guess like think more negatively and embrace his hate? I think he knows enough about the Sith that like it could happen. I don't want it to, obviously. I'd rather Ezra.
From a narrative standpoint, that being Ezra, I feel like creates infinitely more questions than answers. Like,
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Logic wise, just doesn't make sense. And like, he's clear. I don't know if it's.
I don't believe. So.
There's so many conflicting principles.
Right with the big brain move there.
I feel like every episode's gonna get a pillow talking reference in there.
100%.
That's our shtick. Pillow talking and Holocaust jokes.
Bang bang.
That's our thing. Bang bang. But I don't know if it's like been said like as like unaffectionately or like official canon, but like he's clearly an Inquisitor or like a Inquisitor Jace. Like that's an Inquisitor lightsaber.
That's what
Yeah, so it's
he's like in that garb, like
so it's like clearly there's been some type of like interaction with Vader at some level. It's like I just don't see how that would have been Ezra, and like somebody wouldn't have known that he made it back. Like I don't think Vader would sit on that. I feel like he would revel in that. Like, oh, I turned your man to the dark side. I feel like he would like throw that shit in their face.
Yeah,
Like, looky.
I mean, Starkiller was a secret apprentice, for what it's worth. So to have an Inquisitor that was not in line with the other Inquisitors kind of makes sense here. So I'll let that. I'm just going to kind of like lean into that for now and like hope that it's the case, just because I love Sam Witwer. And ultimately we'll just be disappointed. So, it is what it is. No, I think they can make it somebody, they can make it nobody, but as long as it fits the story well, that's fine. I just think it's like, I don't know, with the face modulation or the voice modulation and everything, it's like they're hiding something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, big facts. And it even sound, I know that's not like that's him, but like he even sounded like Sam Witwer like when he was talking. I know he voices everybody, so it's like that's not really like an indication that that's him. So a question I have for y'all, it's while we're talking about like mysteries that might be solved, do we think that like whoever Balin's master was is like an important detail, or like that's something that's like a fact? Because I feel like when he was on what's the planet that he's on right now, chilling right now, the burger planet, Cetos. Like when he was telling his little robot henchman like to go into the forest to like go fetch like Ahsoka and Sabine or get rid of him or kill him, like again he looked like hesitant, like he looked sad, like he really doesn't want to hurt Ahsoka. Like, I don't think he cares about, you know, Sabine, because, you know, send his daughter a princess. His daughter Juan to shank Sabine. So it's like, but like anytime he talks about like Ahsoka, there's like affection, like and even when Morgan, I had watched the episode back. Are we lagging again? Am I lagging? Are we?
No, I think I was just talking at the same time as you. I can't keep my mouth fucking shut.
No, you're good, bro. Because I had watched back the second episode, like when Morgan and Balin had that interaction where he was saying, when he was just like, "Oh, it'd be a shame to kill her," and I think she had said something along the lines of like, "Oh, like that sounds personal" or something like, I forget what she said, and he was just like, "Yeah, it is." Like basically, like, yeah, it is a personal issue for me or whatever the line. I'm paraphrasing. Well, that's twice now that like he's had to like be on the aggressive end of something against her that he's like felt a way about it. Yeah.
I'm gonna let Ray go first and take an exercise in patience here, since I couldn't let you finish what you were trying to say.
Nah, you good, brother. You good. One band, one sound.
I don't have anything to add.
Then I will go.
What an alley-oop.
My two predictions.
If you want me to ruin something, I can.
There you go.
Okay, we'll ruin one of my theories here.
Just kidding.
My first theory is that Balin's.
Of course, you cut out when you said it.
Go on.
As soon as you went to say the name, you were going.
Oh, nope.
Solo, we'll figure it out. We'll use the Force. That's not how the Force works.
All right, Lassie, who's his master? we waited long enough.
Can you hear me now?
I'm so curious.
Is Timmy in the well? Like, who's it? Who's the master?
At least it'll be a funny cut back in. Anyways, the master that I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted was one of my predictions would be Plo Koon. Please tell me you heard me that time. Plo Koon, because he would speak fondly of Ahsoka, and then Balin would be like, you know, because he's heard so much about her from Plo Koon, maybe he's like, oh, I have a lot of respect for my master, even though I've taken this different path, whatever, and, you know, he doesn't want to kill Ahsoka because of that. My other theory is that Dooku trained him at some point, and he became disillusioned with the Jedi, just as Count Dooku did. And kind of like as a fold to Qui-Gon, he separated himself from the Order, but came back to the galaxy after the Empire's like reign, but was smart enough to keep himself and his daughter hidden, if she is his daughter, which I think you guys are spot on with that.
Daughter Juan.
Yeah, his daughter Juan.
I did see somebody right, which I thought would be cool. I don't think her age lines up, but I think it would be really cool that she was like a youngling that he rescued from Order 66. I don't think her age, she looks really too young for that, but I thought that would be really cool too. Like if while he escaped, he just happened to have a kid. He was like, all right, shit, we out. Like, come on, girl.
Yeah. If she wasn't a human, I'd buy into that. But she is. So I'm going to have to.
It's his daughter, Juan.
Yeah. I think you guys are definitely like don't question your gut on that one. I think you guys were both like very on the nose, and I haven't seen anybody else talking about that either. So kudos to you guys for kind of shoehorning that theory.
We're trendsetters.
What can we say here?
Everyone wants to be us.
You know, they hate us because they ain't us.
I feel like Plo Koon would be a really interesting one because I feel like there's not, you know, it kind of is a way to lead into a little bit more of his story because we don't like have a ton of his story.
He's Filoni's favorite Jedi, if I'm not mistaken.
He is.
Oh, really? Yeah. I didn't know that. And you're right. I mean, he has such an affinity for Ahsoka. Like,
didn't he find Ahsoka? Isn't he the one that brought her to the temple?
He was the one who brought her to the temple. Yeah.
Yeah. So
there go Disney putting shit next to each other that makes sense. Just do it.
Yeah.
Just do
Come get us.
And I mean, it would be like you could definitely like draw the line that they've probably met and interacted several times. Then, if that was the case.
Yeah,
but he definitely
too young to remember.
Yeah.
He definitely could have come across her as a youth.
Yeah. Yeah, like dude's got a beard and stuff now. Like he could look completely different now than when she saw him, you know, 15 years ago or like whatever.
I mean, elephant in the room, if you think about it, from the trailers, he knew Anakin. So definitely had to have been the order when she was.
And he knew Anakin, like, became Vader. And I feel like that wasn't public knowledge for a lot of people.
It was not.
Fucking Obi-Wan was shocked. Don't know how. Like, your man's joined Sidious, and then you thought he died, and then he pops up with another new apprentice.
I think he
same height.
I think he was shocked that he. I think he's shocked that he survived, not that he was Vader. Because I think.
He's like, shit, that new apprentice. Yeah, that's kind of Anakin's height. High level. Yeah.
He's about as tall as Freddie Prinze Jr. Yeah,
6'1", baby. I always found that hilarious.
Yeah, that makes sense though, Mike. With like he was shocked that he was alive more than anything, but yeah,
he didn't want to believe. He knew he didn't want to believe.
No, you right. Denial. That's one of the stages of grief.
and I mean, I don't want to be that guy because I love the prequel trilogy. Sidious definitely refers to him as Darth Vader in that damn hollow projection that him and Yoda watching. So you just see a Darth Vader walking around for 7 years, just happens to look a little bit different.
Well, that's the thing. Obi-Wan was on Tatooine, so he didn't know any better.
You say so? The Empire's out here fucking shit up, and Obi-Wan don't hear about it. He's that off the grid that he don't hear about Darth Vader.
Well, they weren't really on. They weren't really on Tatooine for.
I guess
a while. They're now the rim.
You know, it's because Star Wars, we've talked about this before. Star Wars always makes whole planets seem really small. But like when you think about the scale, it's like, no, it's a whole fucking planet. So
exactly. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that he was meat farming and not paying attention to the Empire.
Yeah.
I'm rolling.
In fact, he picked a planet that was kind of off their radar too, right? They only really went there because...
The one that he's from. Such a great space.
He hates sand, dog. He hates sand.
Word, real shit. Should've went to Jakku then. No one goes to Jakku.
Why does everyone want to go back to Jakku?
Everybody wants to go back to Jakku. It's the place to be.
All right. Let's dive into the Star Map. Yeah, end credit discussion.
See how we did that? So, that was totally on purpose, people. For all you listening out there.
He's not only the king of mixies, he's the king of transitions.
You feel me?
Read this off to you, and you tell me which planets you think are actually... I think that they threw a fucking bunch of red herrings in here just to kind of like be like, this is an Easter egg in the credit. So you tell me where you think they're going. Peridia, obviously they're going there. We've already been to Cetas. We've already been to Lothal. But amongst the other planets in there, we have Arcana, which I don't ever remember like them going to. Iern, who I'm not. That's never been seen. Garel, which is in Rebels. It's the planet where they like have their base in season 2 before they get ambushed by the Empire. Mandalore, Agamar, which was from the Rebels episode where they fight the separatist droids that didn't turn themselves off.
That's a load of
Dathomir, home. You're right. Dathomir, home of the Night Sisters. Gavin, Corellia, which we've already been to. Cato Nemoidia, where the business doesn't count. Duro, home of the Duros.
Doesn't count.
And Pisana, which is the other desert planet from Rise of Skywalker. Any of those jump out at you as like, yeah, we're definitely going there? Or do you think we're just fucking blazing a path to Peridia and that's where we're going to spend a lot of time?
We gotta make some... It's a buddy cop journey. Like, it's literally Ahsoka and Sabine are a buddy cop journey across space. Like, we gotta make some pit stops. I would love...
I guess I should also mention that all of these deciphered by EA Boss at New Rockstars.
EA Boss in NewRockstars.com.
It's in the game. I mean, sorry.
What a great intro. I would love to stop at Dathomir. I feel like you got Morgan, who is a Night Sister. So it's like, why? Again, you put the two things next to each other. Like, just do the thing. I would love to stop there. That'd be dope.
That'd be really fucking cool.
And the Dathomirian witch is built... Oh, Arcana is the planet with the temple where they get the star map. Sorry.
Yeah, that's the first... Yeah.
Oh, that's the one she went
the
to the first time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ironically, while I do want to be on Dathomir in live action, I feel like it's more the narrative runs through Dathomir as opposed to we're actually going to go to Dathomir. That's how it feels to me. but I would like to see it.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, even if they don't go there, if there's some sort of clip that you see that occurs there, would be kind of cool too. Like
Maybe a flashback for Morgan.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be pretty cool. We were also on. Did you say this? Was it Corellia?
Yes, we were. Yeah, I did say that we were on.
Oh,
Corellia.
okay. Sorry.
Yeah, so that one's already been. That one's already been done.
Yeah.
I doubt we're going to Mandalore. It feels way too.
Why?
It's not needed. It's
Yeah.
not.
Unless you're going to give 2 episodes to fucking Din Djarin in the middle of the show.
They might.
Like they did. Can never rule that out.
Yeah. 3.5.
I would love to go to Cato tomorrow to see what business didn't count. I don't know how they would work that into the story. That'd be hilarious.
I do think that what they're talking about is the opening to the Siege of Mandalore when Anakin totally saves his ass on the bridge. But I would still like to go back to Caden Nemoidia. Duro was an interesting one to me because that's where Cad Bane is from, and those aliens are cool. They actually look like the aliens that we so commonly see in pop culture with like the big eyes and and large green heads, although most of them are blue. And then there's one moon, and its name is Odin, like the Norse god Odin, but with a Y. Yeah. Wouldn't be surprised if that has. EA Voss said that he thinks it has something to do with Balin and Shin. I think he's on the money there. Definitely going to give credit where credit's due. He deciphered all these planets. I think that he has a point on this.
That's the most incredible thing I've ever watched in my entire life.
Yo, and he does stuff like that like regularly. Like what's that called? Cryptography, I think.
Yeah,
I might have just
cryptography. Yeah.
Hey, I be knowing things. Like he be really locked in. I be like,
I think my mouth was like open the whole time.
Yo, facts. Like I would have gave that shit like a good 5 minutes and like quit. Like and just started making shit up. Like this is Pluto. We gonna stop at Pluto. Then we gonna swing around to Saturn.
Yeah.
Just start making shit up.
Did he say that something about one of them showing like Loth wolves or something? Did I make that up?
Yeah, Lothal has a Loth wolf around it.
Oh, it was Lothal that did? Okay, never mind. I was thinking that.
Yeah, Cetos has a purple around it. That was
No. He talks about the 2D Loth wolf leading to
the World Between Worlds.
The World Between Worlds, yeah.
Yeah, so that constellation can also be seen in the Mortis episodes in the Clone Wars. That wolf is in space there when Anakin is taking control, or I don't want to say taking control, but he's like taming the daughter and the son. And so like when it's like shifting from night to day as he's doing that, you can see that Loth wolf constellation in the sky above him. And then it looks like Dave obviously like took that imagery and then worked it into the story of Rebels. I don't think he quite had thought that far ahead when he put it in Mortis, but he's definitely connecting the dots of the mythology that he started to build with George and is now very much building himself.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really cool to see the Star Map.
Keep on turning.
That would be sick. I would love to see the Loth wolves in live action.
Yeah, that'd be dope. I mean, we got Purgles, we got Loth cats. Like, might as well.
I mean, seeing a Loth wolf like with Ezra being involved like isn't far off either.
Disney, you putting the things next to each other, just pull the trigger. Pull the trigger.
Jason seeing a Loth wolf.
Well, especially since Doom, the Loth wolf, was kind of Ahsoka theorized that was Kanan speaking through the Force, so that would be cool too.
Yeah.
If somehow the story, like if we end up splitting them completely, right? Like Hera can't meet up with them because the New Republic won't let her, but she's trying to like do stuff on her side of things. So if we split the story up and Jason has like a role to play in this narrative outside of what's going on with them, for them to be on Lothal, I think an encounter a Loth wolf would be cool.
I'm here for all
because it does kind of make sense because we don't know where the gateways are, but Lothal was definitely a gateway.
Yeah.
So like we know that as one true fact because we've seen it before in Rebels. So the only opening we're aware of is there. I mean, as far as we know, the temple's destroyed, but who's to say that the gateway can't still be there.
Mm-hmm.
The gate remains open.
And then, so that's cool. Glad that he was able to decipher that. Gives us a little bit of clues and room to speculate. Maybe we'll see the planets make their way into our speculation moving forward. I have a couple more Easter eggs for you guys before we head out here.
You cracked those
Shin's earpiece is the same used in the prequels by Obi-Wan and Anakin.
Oh yeah, with the thing
noticed
across
that.
the sweatband across the top.
She
So
rocked it a
we
little
talk-
better.
She did.
She did rock it a little better.
Yeah.
She did.
So the spacesuits I had already mentioned have been used in Clone Wars and Rebels, but one thing that I didn't mention was it could have been a direct reference to the Clone Wars episode Rising Malevolence, where Plo Koon also exits their shuttle to protect
Plo Koon
the
again.
people on the inside. So
Plo Koon again.
there's another reference to Plo Koon. The first time we really see Purrgil in live action, not just their shadows, because they have been popping up quite frequently, but not actually visible. So it was cool to see them. And then we already talked about this, but the designs of the enemy ships extremely similar to biplanes.
And Lilo and Stitch.
Big inspiration. And Lilo and Stitch. Yes. How could I forget? Well, I mean, I think we kind of hit it all and avoided another technical difficulty. Fingers crossed that it
What'd you
doesn't
say?
happen.
I can't.
Get the fuck out.
I looked
Star
up. Oh
Wars
shit again.
podcast. Thank you for joining us as we broke down, discussed, predicted all things Ahsoka, everything in Star Wars. You know, that galaxy far, far away. Rey.
Hey, the
Matt,
ruiner.
it has been a pleasure to discuss this with you. Can't wait to do it next week. We're going to be getting these episodes out for you on Monday, so you can listen to it right before you go into the new episodes of Ahsoka, and we will be back every Monday afterwards with other content to help you get through the drought of content that is right around the corner. I think people really don't realize that it's going to be pretty dry for a while.
Once they run out of shit that was in the can, we're fucked.
So I will hand it off to you, Matt. Tell the people where they can find you, what you're up to, what we got going on. Big announcement today.
Yeah, really big announcement today. You can find me most places that you can find Mikey, here on the NERUOK podcast, on our sister channel with our good brother Troto Trav, Dragon Ball Faux Life, Dodon Ray. We got a lot of good stuff coming on. And a big announcement that we did put out today, for all of you people who were in such in awe of the Cospalooza event that the DB4L family put together. If you weren't able to make it, or if you had young ones that kept you from being able to attend, we have teamed up with the great people over at Super Game Day, who also happened to throw a video gaming tournament the same day that we had our event last April. And we have formed the Avengers of nerd culture, and Super Game Day and Dragon Ball for Life are throwing a super giant game day party on October 21st on Cherry Street Pier. If you are in the Philadelphia area or the tri-state region, or just the East Coast, shit, if you're on the West Coast, you want to come travel, pull up the Asian peninsulas that we had mentioned earlier in this episode. Come on down. But yeah, October 21st, Cherry Street Pier from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. The DB4L family, myself, Ray, the Ruiner, Mikey, Shoto Trav, Yali All Caps, Paul, Spirit Poppy, we all gonna be there. We're actually hosting the costume contest, so bring your loved ones. You have no excuse. It's a free event, and you can bring your kids. There's literally zero reason for you not to come. Bow.
If you don't have kids, there are a bunch of food trucks and adult beverages in the back. So come have a good time, see some really cool cosplay, maybe dance with us a little bit. I think we got Anshi Ray spinning some tunes for us. So that'll be very, very exciting. Ray, anywhere that they can find you, plug something. Other than here next week.
Oh, damn. That's it, though.
Oh, shit. You can see Ray here next week. Donate to Fran's.
Ruining shit.
Oh, yeah. Donate to Fran's Fund. Love City Vet.
Yeah,
Help some
there you go.
animals.
See, I'm plugging for so help some animals. And I have been your host. You can find me on Instagram at Mikey_the illest and at Mike the illest on Twitter. I refuse to call it by its name. now.
So,
Yeah, I guess they're going to give it to me when I eventually leave. Reds, please add a news section or trending section. I'm begging you. So I can finally leave X. But yeah, you can find me there. Please tune in each and every week. We are going to bring you the Star Wars content, and for the time being, may the Force be with you.
Peace
And
out.
Deuces.
later, nerds.